So what sector do I think is going to have an epic 2022? And by epic, I mean something that increases by 100% or more. Hey everyone, so I'm just going to have a bit of fun here today. I hardly ever indulge myself in speculation like I'm going to today. I make a big effort to not watch the news, I don't absorb any mainstream media, and I make sure my YouTube recommendations are interesting to me and not hype or bullshit brain-numbing content. So I don't really know what other people are talking about on those topics that I'll speculate about today, except for crypto, I guess. Every person I meet who finds out I'm an investor, well, the first thing they ask is whether I'm in crypto. All they know or care about is crypto. And I use the word know very loosely. So the topics I'm going to speculate on today are real estate, China, including Alibaba and Tencent, Europe, USA, Australia, Asian stock markets, working life, COVID, industries I want to avoid, crypto, the biggest winners of 2022, and the AFL. But first, this clip I think is a super good precursor for this video, which was an interview done by the guys over at Everything Money. And well, here it is.
Well, first I would say I have no idea where the market's going, and I don't think anyone does. And I think one of the most important things to start realizing is that the greatest investors don't make predictions about where the market's going. That they say, I can't do that. I don't believe in economists' predictions about what inflation is going to do and where growth is going to be. And, you know, maybe if you're Ray Dalio or you're a great hedge fund manager like Jim Simons or something, you can make some useful predictions about the future. But I sure as hell can't. And so one of the things that you need to do when you're filtering stuff out is you just say, well, all of these morons who are making market predictions and are pretending that they're valid, they don't know shit. So I'm ignoring them for a start. And so that's a very helpful filter. Then all of these people who are promising extremely high returns with low risk, you're like, well, I'm filtering that out because they don't know shit either. You know, sorry to be rude, but I mean,
that's how we talk too. Keep it going. Keep going.
Thank you for saying this.
It's not. This is not an easy game, right? And so. I mean, so people who pretend that it's easy, or who pretend that they know the future, or who pretend that they've cracked the code and nobody else, you know, and they're better than everyone else, those people tend to be snake oil salesmen.
So are we clear that predicting the short-term future is a waste of time? Essentially, this video is a waste of time. But I think if we have this itch in the back of our brains somewhere, it's okay to indulge in a bit of speculation, because we are strong-willed, rational people. This is all just a bit of fun, and we are not taking this too seriously. Поехали. Commercial real estate, I don't think will bounce back anytime soon. There will be some successful repurposing projects, I guess, but generally speaking, I wouldn't want to be in a REIT that has the majority of the assets in commercial property. I would have to look at the data, but I'm in Kiev and there are for rent signs on office buildings all over the place. I think the best livable locations like near parks and bodies of water in nice neighborhoods are going to still have a lot of demand, because that's what I would want and my friends and family would want as well. So I think then studio apartments in the city centers are going to be not a good investment. Look, if interest rates go up, things are probably going to cool off. Not sure about that though. Interest rates are far beyond me. So I think pockets of the market will do well and other pockets will not do so well. Essentially the same as it's always been. Industrial real estate, well, maybe that cools off a little bit as well. There is no research or facts behind that statement, just good old speculation. China has been a hot topic all year in 2021. Still a wild ride for Chinese investments in 2022. Does Alibaba's business grow in 2022? Yes. Does the share price improve in 2022? Probably. Does Tencent's business grow in 2022? Yes. Does the share price improve in 2022? Probably. I still think there's going to be a lot of headlines coming out of China. There's going to be energy issues, real estate issues, government regulations on tech and data, more of the same. I think it will get a little boring as the year rolls along, and a lot of the beaten down tech stocks will recover, hopefully towards fair value. Europe, well, it will be boring. It's all about the US and China. I mean, when was the last time you got excited about the growth of England or Germany? Look, still the odd super company in these places, so it's a true case of looking where others are not looking. Far less competition for those willing to look in Turkey, Poland, or Russia, and far more mispricing. Europe generally doesn't have big innovation companies like the US or China though. I haven't heard much from Putin for a while. Maybe he is a dark horse to throw a black swan event into the world. Or maybe there's going to be something come out of the Middle East. Look, super innovation coming from the US, I'm a big believer that the world is going to get a lot better in the future and it will be driven by the US and China. They have just the right culture for innovation. America will have its issues. Politics is chaotic, media is idiotic, but the American dream is still alive and well. I think tech and software is going to be, again, the strong growth sector to be in. I think tech is always going to be the place to be, but the competitive advantages in this space are awfully difficult to defend. So the big tech companies that have these strong moats, well, I think they're going to stay dominant. I can't see any disruption coming for them anytime soon. So this is the growth region of the world along with India. These areas are going to see some epic growth numbers. I might even throw in Korea into the mix there as well. But Japan, I think, will be slow growth and will be slow growth for a while. They are far more developed compared to Southeast Asia, Korea and India, and that's why I think they are different. But some hidden gems can be found here if you can do the digging. Like Europe, innovation is not well supported in Australia. Still some good companies, but they are rare. Australia is going to be unimpressive for a decade, I would assume. Now, if you are on the hunt for those Australian stocks or New Zealand stocks or England stocks or many other foreign stocks, you're going to need a brokerage account where you can buy, hold, and sell your shares in a safe, reliable, and cheap way. Interactive Brokers is that platform. Go to the link in my description to check out a demo account and play around to see if you like how the platform works. And I have demonstration videos here in my channel if you want some guidance. Contractors continue to be, I think, the new world order. I think more and more people are going to be doing contract project-based work. Essentially independent workers not tied to the company and can be dropped at any time. As someone who hires people, it is so easy to just go online and find someone to do editing or graphics or produce a TV show. I don't have to do any paperwork. I don't have to pay maternity or paternity leave. I can just leverage the best talent all over the world. I have a few businesses and I have contractors working with me from, here are the countries, let me try to get them. Tunisia, Algeria, Philippines, Russia, Ukraine, Bangladesh, Spain, and the Netherlands. Look, I'm country agnostic, which is my definition of I don't care what country someone comes from. It's just about the results of the work and the price that I pay. And I think as more people become contractors themselves, they will see that the talent pool has widened significantly. This doesn't mean Upwork and Fiverr are great investments. They are probably unbelievably overvalued because I'm not the first person to think of this, obviously. But they are in the right space. Now, industries I don't want to be involved in, well, unless it was a serious, insane discount where I could get like 70% off their net assets or something, but here they are. Okay, first up is airlines. I don't want to be anywhere near any of the airline companies. I think they already have really tight margins anyway. And I don't know when airline travel is going to come back to any sort of normality. I think business travel is going to suffer pretty significantly because people have realized they don't really need to do business travel. So look, airlines don't want to be part of that game. And with travel, that really accounts for the booking platforms as well, like Booking.com and Airbnb and Expedia and those types of places as well. Look, their margins are significantly better than the airlines. And if I'm going to be in the travel space, this is the place to be. I just don't feel that confident in the travel space. I just don't think we're going to be traveling as much for a while. So I don't really want to be part of these platforms. And let me tack on higher end hotels like the Hilton and the Marriott and things like that as well. They're probably going to get hit the worst because, well, they're the ones who really service the business travelers. And like I said, I really don't see business travel being a thing in the future. It was probably already oversupply anyway. Let's just stay well away from the Hilton, Marriott, those types of companies. So the next industry I don't like is car manufacturing. I'm talking all of the car manufacturing. I think there's just way too much hype and speculation in EV cars at the moment. There's companies coming out of nowhere, raising $100 billion when they produce 100 cars a year or something stupid like that. Rivian's the company I'm thinking of. It's insane. I don't want to be anywhere near anything to do with cars, essentially, because I think it's a massive bubble that's going to explode. I don't want to be anywhere near it. I don't really understand the car industry. I don't understand manufacturing cars. I know they have terrible margins. Nah, don't want to be part of this game at all. I think Tesla is super overvalued. Nah, stay away from cars. I'm staying away from cars. I'm also going to stay away from commercial real estate, like I've said before. Look, I just don't think commercial real estate is going to be in that big of a demand for a little while because, look, maybe they're in prime locations, but I don't know. I don't think we need to use offices as much anymore. People are going to maybe, more often than not, people are going to try to work from home or work remotely as best they can. Maybe it's even just a couple of days a week. You're not going to need the office space like you used to need the office space. So the world has changed. Commercial real estate is, I don't know, I don't want to be anywhere near commercial real estate because I don't know what's going to happen. Also with real estate, I don't really want to be in the property development game, probably anywhere in the world. It's probably over leveraged because of the soaring demand and low interest rates. Look, if interest rates go up, well, demand's going to slow, that's going to hurt. Sure, there's some good property developers out there, but I don't know which ones they are. I think Shiniken in Japan might be okay. I'm hoping they're okay. I'm looking at their balance sheet closely because I'm invested in that company, but I'm not going anywhere near any other property developers. Cruise lines is something I'm staying far away from. I don't really care what the price is because I thought cruise lines were kind of stupid before the pandemic. I thought it was disgusting to get on a boat for like a week with all these people and being trapped on a boat. I think I am a little bit claustrophobic, so this idea of being out in the middle of the ocean, I'm also a little bit scared of the wide ocean as well. So being stuck on a boat in the ocean, it kind of sounds nuts to me. And with all these people that I don't know and strangers and their dirty hands and all that stuff, nah. Cruise lines are not for me. That's not my thing. I don't want to go anywhere near that industry just from a personal perspective. And I don't think the pandemic is completely over yet. Therefore, cruise lines, I don't really care if they bounce back or not. I don't want to be part of it. And with cruise lines, I don't even think they make a whole lot of money. They have this massive asset in this $100 million boat or whatever it is. And I think it takes a long time to recover the money from that boat and all the maintenance that's going on with that. Their margins must be tight. So yeah, that's my opinion on cruise lines. Physical retail, I think, is going to just keep struggling. I think we already know that it was struggling because of e-commerce, but the only exception to this would be garden centers. I think garden centers are a really interesting physical retail play. Yeah, that would be my exception there, garden centers. Now, I'm also going to avoid anything to do with like bars, clubs, conference centers, exhibitions, events, stuff like that. This whole game has always been a bit tricky anyway, especially for bars, because I don't know why anyone would want to own a bar. My favorite bar here in Kiev, I love this place. My friends and I would go there every week, probably Friday and Saturday night. We'd know a lot of the people there. We knew the people working there. Everything was really cool. It was really popular and great. Had a great winter there. It kind of started going back there the last couple of weeks, and it's completely dead. It's just like, because it's now more than a year old, everyone's just gone, oh, it's not cool anymore, or the trend has moved to some other new place. So competition is so fierce in that space. I don't want to be anywhere near invested in this type of things. I'm happy to be a user, but I definitely don't want to be an investor in any way. Now let's finally talk about crypto. Firstly, I think it's full of dumb money, but I don't think it will go to zero. Well, I don't really know. I just think the hype around crypto and the riches to be made in crypto is a black swan event away from being devastating for this dumb money. I also think the minute I go into crypto, the whole thing will fall apart. Because look, I'm a super late stage adopter of anything. I have an iPhone 6. I don't like to be the person experimenting with new half-cooked gadgets. So if I go into crypto, it must be the perfect time for crypto to crash, because I'll be the last one in and probably the last one holding back. So if you are in crypto, well, you should thank me for staying out, because as soon as I go in, it will fall to pieces. So what sector do I think is going to have an epic 2022? And by epic, I mean something that increases by 100% or more. At first, I thought about China tech, because look, but 100% I guess is a big ask. But then I realized Alibaba has to go up like 100% just to get back to like $220 where I paid for it. And that seems likely to happen at some stage because it's a good company that's growing. Then I took a look at the worst performing ETFs in 2021 to see if anything isn't rational in that field. Now, I see China tech here at number 2 on the worst performers of the year, behind online education. Yet, 2 of the best companies in the world are Alibaba and Tencent. Look, you very, very rarely spend 2 years in a row at the top of the worst performers list, but hey, who knows? Let me throw another dart out there and say, I don't know, the uranium industry. Look, not much reasoning behind that, except I like the idea of nuclear energy, and I want Bill Gates to get approval to build one of his nuclear reactors. And something like this could send uranium shooting way higher very quickly. Now, last bit of speculation I'll do here today is a question from Ed Moyes, who asks who is going to win the AFL Premiership in 2022. So I'm a Hawks fan, so I want to say Hawthorn, but my brain thinks Brisbane will surprise and win it all. You can take that to the bank. Alright, so that was all a bit of fun. Don't take this seriously. I was just indulging my brain in a bit of light-hearted speculation on how I see the world. I don't have much data to back up any of my claims, and I think this is essentially a complete waste of time. It's almost a joke video. The point I'm trying to make is that just don't kid yourself that you can predict the short-term future. That's delusional. But I think in the medium to long term, it is possible to be mostly right. For example, I think the world is going to be more technologically advanced in the future, and I think the overall stock market is going to be higher in 25 years' time. But regarding the things I talked about today, I very rarely spend any time thinking about any of these things. I'm more focused on building my wealth through my businesses and investments, which are all long-term things. I spend my time thinking about philosophy, psychology, and doing the balancing act between enjoying the moment and preparing for the future. And those things are just more interesting to me. Look, I hope you've enjoyed this odd video today. If you want to speculate away in the comments, then go right ahead. After that, we can all move on and focus on what is in control for the rest of the year. Blagadaru.